Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to this webinar about AI prompt engineering in procurement. I'm very excited about this one. Many people are using either ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, or any other generative AI tools. And the fun thing about this webinar, is that actually understanding these fundamentals will be applicable to every generative AI tool you will be using. So in that sense, everybody who is interested in working with generative AI or is already working with generative AI, I think you joined the right webinar, and this will be a very exciting one. So a little bit about me. My name is Ralph De Groot. I live in the Netherlands, and I'm the co-founder of Procurement Tactics. Usually you will see Marijn in front of the camera or on the microphone. But this is me. Here I am. This was when we recorded our first course. I was doing the camera work. Right now we are with a team of 20 people, so I'm not behind the camera anymore, but I'm still very excited and very proud of the courses we are creating. And I am also very excited about this specific topic. So let's get into it. Here's a picture of Marijn doing the first course. So a little bit about the courses and about Procurement Tactics. So as of recording, these are the courses we currently have live. If you're watching this live, then this will be accurate. And if you are watching this later or you're watching a replay, there will probably be more courses in our course library. To visit the most updated one, just go to procurementtactics.com/courses and you'll see all of them. Since we started, we have been quite fortunate to work with some really big companies you know, but also some smaller companies. And we are getting very positive reviews, so we are very proud of that. So from starting Procurement Tactics with one single course, just the two of us, now we are really proud on the course we create and the clients that work with us. So just before we get started, can we type in the chat who has used ChatGPT in the past week? So I'll just wait for a little bit, put it in the chat. We did some research on this earlier this year, and I will share the data later with you about people working in procurement. I see the first coming in. Okay, that's interesting. So what we are seeing right now is that more and more people are using tools like ChatGPT, where in the beginning it was just ChatGPT. Like I said, Copilot and more procurement-related tools are coming up. It's interesting to see these answers. So that is nice. So I think you guys are definitely in the right spot. And if you are not using it, you'll also be entertained, and I think you'll also learn something today. So before we get into it, I do want to let you know that at the end of this webinar, we'll be giving you two things. The first one is our AI prompt engineering template, which will help you to create powerful prompts, basically without any experience. So we will give you that. And also we'll give you a discount coupon worth over $400 if you wish to enroll in courses at Procurement Tactics. So we'll get to that later. So let's get to today's agenda. As mentioned, and you know because you signed up, this webinar is called AI Prompt Engineering in Procurement. We'll start with talking about how large language models work. Then we'll get into the prompt engineering, of course. Then about applying it to procurement. How is procurement using AI in 2024? Then we'll talk about AI models making mistakes, and we'll talk also a little bit about dealing with privacy issues. I'm sure this is something many people are concerned with. That's also what we are hearing from clients. In our course about ChatGPT and AI in procurement, we have a few lessons about this, because indeed you do need to be careful when using ChatGPT or any other generative AI models in procurement, because you cannot just put any sensitive information in there without making sure you're doing the right thing. So first, we have to talk about large language models. And no, this won't be boring. There's a lot of ways we can explain this. We can go very much into detail about algorithms and machine learning and how large language models work from a technical point of view, but I'll make it easy for you. So imagine you have a really smart friend who knows a lot about words and can talk to you about anything you want. So this friend has read thousands and thousands of books, articles, and stories from all around the world. And this friend has learned so much about how people talk and write. This smart friend is like a large language model. So it's basically a computer program that has been trained on a lot of text to understand language and help people with their questions and tasks. It's like having a very knowledgeable robot friend who can give you information and have conversations with you. And it might seem like a magic trick, but it's actually a result of extensive programming and training on massive amounts of data. So basically what large language models or LLMs are doing is one word at a time, picking the most likely word that would appear next in that sentence. So let me repeat that again, because this is very important. What large language models are essentially doing is one word at a time, picking the most likely word that would appear in the next word or next up in a sentence. So it's basically just guessing one word at a time what the next word will be. So you might have an idea what the next best word is. Here is what ChatGPT would say is the next most likely word to appear in this sentence. I'm going to the store to pick up a gallon of... And here's what it's saying. The top ranked word is milk. So 50% of the time it's expecting the word milk here. Then water at 20%, ice cream with 15%, gas 10%, and then paint 5%. Personally, I would have also guessed milk, but I guess all the words that I just said make sense, right? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Let's say we add one word to the prompt. So I'm going to the hardware store to pick up a gallon of blank. So instead of just talking about going to a store, it's about going to a hardware store. And now if I'm asking you what word you should expect here, a different word comes up. So here, according to GPT-4, here is what word would be expected. At 60%, so a clear winner, it is paint. And then at 20% gasoline, 10% a cleaning solution, and then glue with 5% or water with 5%. Very interesting, right? So basically we added one word and then the predictions of which word expected in the sentence completely changes. Now this is very important to understanding how large language models work and also how you can combat the flaws generative AI models have, because understanding this helps you to prevent mistakes and also to help you create better outputs. But we'll get to that later. So what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is optimizing an AI prompt for an accurate, relevant, and actionable response. Or, in other words, prompt engineering is getting really good at telling an AI what we want so it can give us back the best possible response. When it comes to prompt engineering, you want to keep a few things in mind. First of all, you should be clear and write specific instructions. You should understand the limitations of the technology. Well, we just talked a little bit about that already. And the third one, you should always be iterating. We'll also get to that. Now, the template I just talked about, that's the template we will be using in this webinar. If you want to download this, don't worry. I will show you the link at the end of the webinar. In case you want it right now, you can go to procurementtactics.com/AI prompt engineering template. If you're watching this in a replay, you can pause it here and do it already. But we'll get to that later. And it is, actually, let me go back one more time. It is a template we created to help you to come up with basically really good prompts. And I'll explain how it works, and I will explain each step and how you should go about it. So this template asks you a bunch of questions, 11 questions, and your answers to these questions will in the end turn into a prompt that you can paste into ChatGPT or any other generative AI tool. So for now, I will be referring to ChatGPT for the rest of this webinar. So the first question is, which expert role should ChatGPT be? And then basically the explanation for this is what type of expert would be great at helping you. Now, this question is relevant because it explains ChatGPT what type of way it should answer to you. And it will also change the way it answers. So let's say we ask a random question like, what is water? And we ask it to answer like a fireman. It will get a completely different answer than when we ask ChatGPT to answer it like a scientist. I hope that makes sense. So in this example, we'll go with Chief Procurement Officer. We want ChatGPT to pretend it's a Chief Procurement Officer. Then we will ask, what is the goal you're trying to achieve? So here, it is important to be as detailed as possible. The more you can explain about your goal, the better. Because if you give ChatGPT a lot of context, it will also come up with a way more tailored answer. So in this example, we said, I want to create an outline for a procurement strategy for next year. I want to know what topics I should include. Then the third one is to explain your goal in detail. So are there any other details ChatGPT should know? So yeah, in this case, the procurement strategy should be a comprehensive document that will guide my team to focus on the right things. What format should the reply be? Here, I just want to have text, header, subheader, and bullet points. But you can go really wide here. So you can ask to have it create an Excel file, a PDF file, images. You can then tell ChatGPT to create those images in portrait or landscape. You can ask it to create charts, although you might need to put in some data. But yeah, for this one, I would really encourage you to experiment with this. I mean, if your goal is really clear and you just need a text answer, there's nothing you really have to be special about with this one. But I would highly encourage you to experiment with this. So now the fifth question is, what is your role? So if you followed our ChatGPT and AI in procurement course, you'll have seen the lesson about customizing ChatGPT to your procurement profession. But in case you didn't do that, you can also this is also possible. I would still recommend you to customize ChatGPT, but for now, what you can just say is, I am a senior procurement manager with 7 years of experience. I'm responsible for procuring goods. I work at IKEA, a large retailer that sells furniture to consumers. So of course, this is just sample data, but here I would highly encourage you to be as specific as possible to help ChatGPT understand your role and therefore have it understand more of the context of your prompt. Then the sixth question, who will be reading the output of your prompt? And in this case, it will be just me who is reading it because I'm looking for a setup of a strategy document, but with help of your output, I will create the actual final document. And this one is important if you're writing, for example, a presentation or an email, because if you are able to target the messaging that ChatGPT gives you towards the reader, it will change the tone of voice and make it maybe more formal or more informal or easy to understand, or make it sound more professional, boring, whatever you want to phrase it. So I would highly recommend you to also answer this one. Then some do's and don'ts. So when ChatGPT is working at your goal, what should it pay attention to? So in this case, we ask it to don't make it generic. Please try to tailor it to my company and the products I'm procuring. And on a scale of 1 to 5, how important is the quality of the answer? Now, this might seem a bit weird, but as you can see already on screen, the higher the number, the more follow-up questions you'll get. So here I'll say 4. And of course, you can play around with this. If you're not looking to follow-up questions, you can also just write 0. So how this works is after you completed your prompt and you put it into ChatGPT, depending on the number you put here, ChatGPT won't come up with a direct answer. It will first ask you a number of follow-up questions. And I would highly recommend you doing this, because with those follow-up questions, ChatGPT will make sure to understand any missing details that it doesn't quite get yet. And by having ChatGPT ask you those follow-up questions, the final output will just be a lot better. And basically, if there's one thing you take away from this entire webinar, I would say it is this one. Having ChatGPT ask you follow-up questions about the prompt will increase the quality of the output so much. So yeah, definitely do this if you have the time to work on a great answer. Then the ninth one is add any relevant files or examples. So for example, in this case, we can upload the previous strategy, the strategy of previous years. So we upload that. As of recording right now, when we're holding this webinar, this is only possible with a paid subscription, in ChatGPT at least. But yeah, if you're working with files and you want ChatGPT to understand the full context of what you're working on, I would highly recommend upgrading. It is $20 per month, so I would say that's not a huge price, and definitely worth it, and it will save you a lot of time fine-tuning your final answer. Actually, about this one, and actually about all the things you're putting into ChatGPT, make sure you're avoiding sensitive information. So please do check in your strategy file if there's any sensitive information, which there probably is. And in that case, I do recommend you to pay attention to the privacy issues we will be talking about later in this webinar, and more in detail in the ChatGPT and AI in Procurement course, which I'll show at the end of this webinar as well. Then tell ChatGPT to decide the tone of response, the tone of voice. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can make it sound persuasive, assertive, confident, constructive, friendly, casual, direct. Basically anything you can think of. You can ask ChatGPT to talk like J.K. Rowling or Dan Brown or any other of your favorite authors. It's quite funny to play around with that. But in this case, we'll be going for a sound professional while drafting this important document. And again, I'm emphasizing this document is important, as I think this will help ChatGPT to understand the right tone of voice. Then finally, set the length of the response. Well, this is optional, but sometimes ChatGPT can be quite wordy. And in that case, when I'm looking for a short answer, I always tell it to just tell me in max 100 words. So this is definitely depending on your context, but here I'm saying at least 500, but no more than 1,000 words in total. So this is the final prompt. And again, like when you open up the AI and prompt engineering template and you answer all of these questions, this will be the prompt that it will give you. And from here on, you can just copy and paste this into ChatGPT. And because here we ask for 4 follow-up questions, it will start doing that right after you pasted this prompt. So it is pretty crazy how ChatGPT has taken off. Here's a graph. I thought it would just be interesting to show. ChatGPT took only 5 days to reach 1 million users. Look at Facebook and Instagram and other big tools, Netflix, big services. You can really tell that ChatGPT is growing really fast. You can actually see that Threads grew faster, but I would say that is it's not really fair to compare those, because Threads is part of Meta, Facebook and Instagram. So they didn't grow by themselves. They had Facebook and Instagram to promote that. So I would say ChatGPT is the winner here. So how is procurement using generative AI? Well, we asked 804 professionals if they use ChatGPT at work. And this is pretty interesting, right? So you can really tell that the 2 biggest groups either use it never or use it every working day. And to me, that says so much. Like, if you know how to use it and if you see the value of using ChatGPT, then the group will become quite big where they just use it every day. And then the people who don't really know, they never use it, which makes sense. So I think this basically confirms the point that if you know how to use it, you will probably use it a lot. We, together with Zycus, we did a comprehensive research about generative AI in source to pay, or like in procurement in general. And I won't share you the full report here because this webinar will be too long. If you want to receive this report, you can subscribe to our newsletter and we'll share it there. And that's just by going to procurementtactics.com/newsletter. But yeah, to me, this is pretty interesting. So 62% or 61.9% of the respondents have no policies for using generative AI. I think this is the biggest takeout for me because it is quite tricky to use generative AI. If you don't know what you're doing, you could be throwing out data on the street. Quite tricky. Another thing which we noticed is that in certain tasks, for example, here in internal purchase requests, people who use generative AI spend a lot less time on those tasks. Quite interesting. And funny enough, that people, contrary to typical expectation, the use of generative AI correlates to the time spent increase in supplier research. So people who do use ChatGPT or any other generative AI increase their time spent on supplier research. And it might seem surprising, but actually to me it makes sense because the people who do use generative AI just find more supplier alternatives. So they end up spending more time, but in the end, it will also bring greater results. So that's quite cool. Then here in general, like what is procurement using generative AI for? Market analysis, supplier research, preparing purchase orders, negotiations, supplier risk analysis, and a bunch more. But again, I refer to the full report by subscribing to the newsletter to read all the details. For now, I won't bore you with this anymore. Let's go a little bit to pitfalls. So there's a few things that you should pay attention to. So the first one is ChatGPT can experience hallucinations. And if we think back about how we started this webinar where we talked about large language models, what ChatGPT is doing is like it's expecting or calculating what is the most likely word to follow after a certain word. And that causes hallucinations. And how do you solve that? Well, it's really simple. Just check the reply and tell ChatGPT if it's screwed up, basically. And just iterate on your prompts. It can use incorrect sources. So if ChatGPT comes up with a statement, I always ask it to give me the source so I can manually check the source. It can sound vague. This is something, again, you should just tell ChatGPT, hey, what you're saying is vague. Make it more clear. And then privacy, of course, which can be a huge issue. And there is quite a few issues within privacy. So actually, let's not go to the solution yet. So first, about the problem. So, I mean, maybe you are already aware of this. In that case, I apologize for that. But how large language models are trained is by using a lot of data. So that is data of books, pages on the internet, videos, newspapers, and so forth. But it is also using data of people using ChatGPT. So every time you are entering a prompt into ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT to refine it, ChatGPT learns about your behavior. And although that is nice because it will increase the quality of the output of ChatGPT, at the same time, they're using your data. And theoretically, it could be that you're putting information into ChatGPT and then your competitor 1 week later is asking about the strategy of your company. And if you just uploaded a file about your strategy, it could very well be that ChatGPT gives your information to that competitor because, hey, in the end, they took your data, they used it to train, and that competitor brings it up. This is theoretically, so I haven't heard cases yet of where this happened, but looking at how it's programmed, this is definitely possible, and you do have to be careful about this. So there's a few things you can do to prevent this. First of all, by logging into ChatGPT, click on your profile and then go to data control. And then by default, chat history and training is activated. I will recommend you to disable that. As you can see, save new chats on this browser to your history and allow them to be used to improve our models. Yeah, using your data to improve their models, it's nice for them, but it's not really nice for you. So I recommend you to turn this off. By the way, I have seen that ChatGPT changed the wording for this section quite a few times. So by the time you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, they might have rephrased this to a different title. Or if you're in a different country, I'm recording this from the Netherlands, it could be that they're A/B testing here. So, but look for, go to data controls and then look for something that looks similar to this. And then the second one is anonymize sensitive documents before uploading them. Yeah, this can be quite painful and quite a lot of work because you might remove the name of your company in the document, but then still, if the email address that is somewhere in your document contains the name of your company or the website of your company, ChatGPT is clever enough to understand that it is related to your company. So this one is time consuming, but definitely recommended when you're uploading sensitive documents. So just anonymize all sensitive information and then go ahead to upload. Then again, you can do all of these things, but there will be risks anyway. A few of these risks are that data can be intercepted between your computer and ChatGPT. So somebody can, for example, break in on your Wi-Fi and steal your data. So even though ChatGPT might be well protected and not using your data to train their models, somebody might come in between. There can be bugs into the ChatGPT software, and they can also be hacked. Even though this might not have happened recently, it can always happen. So be careful about this. I mean, be careful is maybe a bit strong, but be aware that this is a possibility. So this was a lot of information, I can imagine. I think this is just the final phrase I would like to tell you. Like, AI can be very powerful in procurement. Just make sure to use it in the right way. So I mentioned a few times information about our course. So we have a course about unleashing the power of ChatGPT and AI in procurement. It is, by the top of my head, it's around 40 video lessons that talk about how you can use ChatGPT in procurement. It talks about security. It's a very well-received course. Our clients are really excited about it. We are also very proud of this course. And this is also a course we update regularly. As you can see here, it has a 100% money back guarantee, so you can just try it. If you don't like it, we are 100% giving you a refund. That's how proud we are of the courses. Here are other courses. So I will talk about pricing in a bit. You basically have two options. You can just select one course if you're just interested in one topic, or we have a relatively good deal if you purchase all courses. And then you will be able to access all of these courses. We call it access to all, which I'll get to. So here's our pricing options. So it is currently $875 for a single course or $1625 when you purchase all courses. And when you buy access to all, you have also the 60-day money back guarantee. You get certificate after completion. You get access to our ChatGPT community. You get access to future courses. You get access to all of our templates. You also get access to personal coaching. And here, this is the team license. This is more when you are training with your team. Feel free to just get in touch with us after this webinar. And we can assist you and support you in what is the best plan for you, basically. Now we get to the discount part. So this discount will be available for a limited time. If you go to Access to All and you use this discount code, so Access to All 25PX, it will take $406 or 25% off your enrollment price. Yeah. It's a gift from us, basically because we want to thank you for being here in this webinar. And we just really appreciate that you took the time to be here. And we want to reward that with this promotion. So what you will get, like I said, it is all courses and templates worth over $16,000. Now, again, if you're watching a replay of this, there will be new courses and new templates out. So this value will even increase. And like I said, if you enroll, you'll get access to future courses as well. You can view all future courses coming out by going to procurementtactics.com/coming soon. So you'll see that. And like I said, even though you get a 60-day money-back guarantee, the reviews of our courses are something we are really proud of. And actually, that is why we are offering this money-back guarantee, because we know the courses are being well received, and we are really proud of the quality of the courses. So this is what it looks like. So after you enroll, you'll get access to your private learning environment. All of our courses are self-paced, so you can just watch videos whenever you have time. You can watch them on your phone or on your computer. Just self-paced courses. This is this is a screenshot of our negotiation course for procurement professionals. Now, as mentioned, if you decide to go for Access to All, you'll get access to our template library. These are templates we create together with procurement professionals that will help you basically speed up lots of processes within procurement, help you in certain tasks. For example, the AI prompt engineering template is also a template that is included in this template library. And we have many more similar templates. Again, if you decide to enroll Access to All, you can use this discount Access to All 25PX. What you do is you just go to our Access to All page, then you go to continue to cart. And when you are in the cart, you can enter the coupon code right here and then click Apply Coupon. A question we get asked is, do you have payment plans? Yes, we do. Although I have to say, I think that most of our customers get their enrollment fee reimbursed by their employer. I also understand that it's nice to have a payment plan, so you can have either a monthly, a quarterly, or a one payment. We do recommend, if it's possible for you, to go for the one payment because it's just slightly cheaper overall. Now, maybe you're watching this and you think, hey, this AI, this generative AI, this prompt engineering thing, I think it is interesting, not just for me, but for my team. In that case, we also offer ChatGPT procurement bootcamps. So this is basically a combination of self-paced learning, but also synchronized learning, where you get sessions together with the rest of your team. And we will take you through basically from 0 to 100 in using generative AI in procurement. Then we are almost there. Some frequently asked questions like, what is the price? So for a single course price, it's $875, and Access to All courses is $1625. Will I get an invoice? Yes, of course. So after you pay, you automatically get a PDF invoice, and we'll automatically send it to your email. And this is something most of our clients use to expense it with their employer. Just a bit about the refund policy. Like I said, because we are really proud about the quality of our courses, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. And it's no questions asked. So once you request it within 60 days, you get a 100% refund. What happens after I pay? So you'll receive an email with the invoice. You'll receive a second email with the invitation to our study environment. Then you'll receive a third email. Sorry for the emails, but we have to do it. From your course instructor to schedule a kickoff session. And then once you completed all the lessons, you'll receive your certificate. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you for being here. In case you have questions, feel free to send us an email at team@procurementtactics.com. Once again, if you want to download the prompt engineering template, click on this link, procurementtactics.com/AI procurement engineering template. If you run into problems or you are not able to download this template for whatever reason, just send us an email at team@procurementtactics.com and we will help you out. This was a lot of information. I hope I didn't overload you with too much information. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this topic. I hope you learned something and I hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to wish you a really nice day. Thanks for being here. Make sure to check out our website for future webinars. Check our LinkedIn page. That's also where we post about upcoming webinars. And have an amazing day. Thanks again. Bye-bye.